Yeah, and hopefully no more bad tacos.
Patreon.com/the Walk Off Podcast. $4 a month gets you in there.
We are absolutely thrilled to have returning to the show, starting catcher for the Toronto Blue Jays, Danny Jansen. Welcome back to the Walk Off, man. Thanks so much for taking the time.
You got it. Thanks for having me back.
Hey, we are so pumped to talk some baseball with you. To start with, how's your offseason been? I know you've just brought up the 2.5-month-old son there. You're getting some dadding time in, eh?
Yeah, it's been amazing. I mean, that's obviously the highlight, no doubt. His name's Miles. He's awesome. And I couldn't be more excited for the season. And I know it's winding down. It's got about a month or a little less until we're getting going. So it's been a good off season. It's been a busy one, but I'm excited.
If it makes you feel any better, Danny, we had Robert DiBernardo on Tuesday, and Adam's dog started barking midway through the interview, and we got to watch him do the exact same thing. So
yeah. Two dogs and a baby. The house is moving. So so swallow my pride. It's like, all right, well, I'm doing damage on fastballs, and I know that I'm going to get other stuff because I'm not succeeding on other pitches, right? So then I was definitely still trying to stay on the heater, but I was definitely making some adjustments with what I'm looking for at the plate later in the year for sure. And having obviously with confidence, you can do that easier, when you have confidence and you're feeling good at the plate. But once I figured out that, hey, like, it's not really my swing that's the issue. It's just like it's getting out of my own way. I feel like I'm able to make that adjustment and sit on stuff much smoother.
The brain's such a funny thing with that. Like, just the idea that confidence really can just change you as a complete person and the way you approach whatever you're going after. It's such an incredible.
This game, man, this game is just, obviously it's a game of failure, right? But I've always thought too, being a catcher, you can help the team win by going 0 for 4. That's always in the back of my mind too, right? That's always a thing. So obviously, I want to produce offensively as well. And I started to, do that more, but that's the beauty of being a catcher as well.
Obviously, when it comes to sports, everyone's aware of the business of it, right? And you try not to take things personally and all of that. But despite that, the truth is, man, the speculation around the catching position in Toronto over the last 6 months has been, I'm sure, tough to ignore, even though you stay focused and, you and Kirky and I'm sure Moreno were all just trying to stay in your lane and focus on your development and the team and stuff. There was a lot of talk. What do you do to try and stay on track while stuff like that, the surrounding things are coming at you?
Yeah, it's, I've actually removed Twitter a couple of years ago, and that was something that I just felt like, I don't want to really necessarily be on it because there's always stuff, about, it could be just how you perform that night or stuff that, I didn't need. So, and then, a time like this where there's always, talks and trade talks and things like that. So yeah, I did just try to stay level headed and in my own lane. And of course there's people like, who you hear about it from, like, just, friends or whatever it may be. Yeah. Right. So it's there, but, it's something that you really can't control. So I'm not going to try to, really sweat it if I can't control it. Right. Just kind of control what I can control. So just continue to be the best dad I could be and try to get my body and everything in shape. And then obviously, there's a move that happened.
And you do have new teammates this year. It is a very different looking Blue Jays squad as you head into 2023. How are you feeling about the moves? Obviously, it's tough to see old friends leave, but a lot of pretty major talent coming back your way. I know Dalton Varsho mentioned that you reached out to him. Have you talked to all the new additions?
Basically, yes. I like to reach out to him and just say what's up and welcome to the squad. So, man, it's always, it's a business, right? And you got friends. I played with Teo and Gurriel for a long time in the minor leagues and in the big leagues for my whole career. So wish them nothing but the best. They're great dudes, great ball players, and then you welcome the guys in, and obviously it's always a revolving door with that kind of stuff. So, so excited about it. Varsho, he's another Wisconsinite because I grew up in Wisconsin. Played against each other, I believe, twice in high school, even back in the day. So, so that's going to be great. And playing against Kiermaier, just knowing what he can do. Chris Bassett, another guy who has a bunch of different pitches, and he's a bulldog on the mound. So excited to work with him. Swanson. Don't think I faced him last year, but I know what he's capable of. He's obviously good at what he does, and I hear nothing but great things about him. So yeah, it's an exciting time. I'm looking forward to it.
When you have an outfield, obviously defense has improved. Nothing against the 2022 team. It just looks defensively pretty darn sound in that outfield. When you have a defensive outfield that's as rock solid as this, does it change your game calling behind the plate? It just feels like all fly balls are going to be outs this year. Do you approach it a little differently?
Not necessarily. I've always felt and had the confidence in the guys in the outfield years prior. So if they're, it's not like it's going to be something where, or was ever a time where you hold your breath when something's in the outfield, right? But and it's always good to improve defense and to have guys that can do it out there. I don't know if that matters. I don't even know about because the shift's going to be gone for the most part. So I don't know how that affects the outfield shift. If you guys have any insight on that.
I think you can't have 4 outfielders out there anymore.
You can't have 4. Okay, all right.
You can't
see.
Have 4,
I didn't even. Yeah, I got used to all these rule changes.
All you knew was Danny Jansen is still not lining up in the outfield. That's all you needed to worry about.
That's it. And maybe there's a couple more hits in that 6 hole too. Maybe. So yeah, not necessarily, but it's always good to have obviously solid defense and stuff like that. It's always a huge piece.